A card form is a form that asks users specific questions in an individualized manner. They must answer each question before proceeding to the next. You are limited to adding just one element to each card with this type of form. You can begin the process either by clicking the New Form button in the top right corner, or by clicking on the Builder tab. Then select Card Form. First, you will need to enter a title for your form. The name should relate to the campaign you are using it for or the general goal of the form. Then click Create. The Builder tab will update and reveal the form builder. You will see the title of your form at the top, along with the space below that reads Drag and Drop a Form Component. An element that's unique to card forms is the card title, which you can see here. You can change the card title by hovering over and clicking on the gear icon on the right. Then go to the title field and enter a title for your card. Then click Save. To add new cards, click the plus page button. Then you can navigate back and forth between cards by using these tabs. In the left side column, you'll find the menus for fields, styles, and additional options. These are the fields and widgets you can drag and drop to start building your new card form. Because there is a large variety of elements and options, we created separate help documents that detail each, which you can find below this video. You can quickly start adding elements simply by clicking one from the left-hand column and dragging it onto the form. The predefined fields at the top are ready-to-go elements that allow you to create a new form quickly and simply. It contains common go-to information requests such as name, phone number, email, and address. The basic elements provides more customization options by leaving the fields empty for you to edit, like text field or text area, as opposed to first name and last name. They function the same, allowing you to drag and drop them wherever you would like. Here's an important note for card forms. If you try to select a new element whenever one is already present on the card, you will receive an error telling you that this is impossible. Card forms are limited to one element per card. The Advanced section provides more in-depth components such as file upload, image upload, and a date and time selector. If you already use one of these, make sure you access the settings by clicking on the gear icon and reading through each one of these tabs. When you're finished setting up your element, always be sure to save. Finally, we have Layout. The Layout section allows you to implement layout options that completely change how your form appears. For example, if you use the Columns option, it will split your page into two separate columns, where you can then drag and drop unique components to occupy those columns. Most submission forms will require certain information before a user can submit their entry. You can manually make any element required by hovering over and clicking on the gear icon that appears when hovering over an element, like this. Then go to the Validation tab. To make this field required, check this box next to Required. You'll see that a red asterisk appears next to the field name. Then click Save. If you decide that you don't like an element or deem it unnecessary, you can quickly delete the element by hovering over and clicking the X that appears. Next, let's move on to Styles. In addition to selecting your elements, you can further stylize your form by clicking on this tab. Here you will find various options available that allow you to change font colors, background colors, sizing options, and more. To change a color, click on the color wheel. You can either manually select a color, enter a hex value, or an RGB value. To adjust other things, simply use these sliders and watch what happens. Finally, we have options. Here, you can modify the form name, add categories and tags, and determine what happens after a user submits the form. To create new categories and tags, simply click this plus button, enter your text, then click Create. Then you can use the drop-down to select the category or tag. For OnSubmit, you can currently either create a message to display upon submitting the form, or you can redirect the user to a new URL. If you select Message, you can enter your message in this field here. If you select URL, you will need to enter your URL here. Finally, you will notice that there are fields for your Facebook pixel below. You can use these options to help you use this form to track specific instances with your pixel. However, this process is a bit more complex, which is why we created a separate help article to explain the various options in depth, which you can find by clicking the link below this video. If you want to preview your form, you can do so by going to this top right corner and clicking this button. Then click X to exit. When you're happy with your form, you'll want to click Publish. After clicking Publish, a new menu will appear. You will have 3 methods for sharing your form. Link to Share provides a direct link to the form, which you can send through messaging or post directly onto a web page. Embed provides the HTML code you need to post in the text editor of your web page. Iframe embedding integrates a live version of your form. This means that any changes you make to your form in the Forms app should automatically be reflected on the website. Note that your form may load slightly slower as it must go through an additional step to load. Your web developer will also not be able to edit your form within the website HTML. Choose the option that's best for you and click on the blue Copy button at the bottom to use your code or URL effectively. Then, go back to the My Forms tab where you can see your new form in the table.